Strategic hedging on diligence calls what to say under uncertainty. Welcome. Today we'll show how and why to hedge during diligence calls. In fast-moving deals, evidence is often partial or evolving, so clear caution beats confident guesses. Hedging helps you avoid overpromising under uncertainty, preventing costly walkbacks later. It also protects credibility and legal risk. Measured language shows you know what's known, unknown, and provable. Finally, hedging signals openness and rigor. You're transparent about limits and disciplined about inference. Think of it as intellectual seatbelts. Keeps you and your stakeholders safe while still moving the conversation forward. Use crisp, repeatable stems. Try, based on what we know so far, to anchor scope and timing. Say, preliminarily, the data suggests, when the pattern is emerging but not locked. Use our current view, subject to change, to keep room for new findings without sounding evasive. And we have moderate confidence in, to label certainty explicitly. Pair these with a brief reason, source count, data freshness, or method. These phrases keep you decisive yet flexible, strong enough for action, careful enough for updates. Organize responses so stakeholders can trust your logic. First, start with scope. What was checked, sources, coverage period, and methods. Next, state level of confidence, low/med/high, so listeners calibrate risk. Then give a best fit estimate or range, not a single point, and explain the driver. Finally, name the key unknowns and next steps, missing datasets, pending interviews, or tests in progress. This structure turns raw notes into a decision-ready summary and shows you separate facts from inference. Numbers persuade when framed properly. Use ranges, not single numbers, to reflect variability, e.g., 20 to 25% churn. Pair numbers with conditions, assuming current pricing and no seasonality shift. Time box assumptions like last 12 months, so listeners know the window. And clarify data coverage and gaps, sample size, response bias, or untracked cohorts. This approach lets leaders model upside and downside while understanding what could move the figures and by how much. When challenged, stay calm and precise. Reframe, evidence versus inference, what the data shows versus what it implies. Offer scenario cases, base/bull/bear, to show sensitivity to drivers. Trade precision for transparency. We can give a tighter range after validating cohort retention. Invite verification and artifacts. Share extracts, queries, interview notes. This shifts debate from opinion to inspectable evidence and keeps momentum without overstating certainty. Keep gap language ready to avoid awkward stalls. Use, "We haven't validated X independently yet," when relying on management data. Say, "Evidence is directional, not definitive," if patterns are clear but thin. Note, "Two sources conflict, we're reconciling," to flag inconsistencies proactively. End quote. This is a placeholder pending diligence when a figure enables planning but isn't final. These lines acknowledge limits while maintaining progress and trust. Avoid traps that erode credibility. Avoid absolute claims without proof. Words like always or guaranteed invite risk. Don't hide caveats at the end. Front-load them so decisions are informed. Beware false precision and small samples. A neat decimal can mask shaky data. Separate facts, estimates, and opinions. Label each clearly. If something is judgment-based, say so. This clarity protects you during scrutiny and helps teams act confidently within known limits. In every update, lead with scope, confidence, and range so listeners can calibrate. Name assumptions and data gaps to set honest expectations. Offer scenarios and follow-ups to keep decisions moving, while uncertainty narrows. Finally, document sources and update when new data arrives. Version your numbers, track changes, and signal what moved the view. Mastering this discipline makes you sound measured, trustworthy, and action-oriented. Exactly what high-stakes diligence demands.